Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me. And I can't choose what I want.
Holy hell, I think the cameras are on. We're here, we're queer. What's shaking, fatty?
Are the cameras on? Yeah. I never saw you touch the cameras. I feel like the cameras are on when we get here. I don't like it.
Oh, is that right? You don't
Controls with the computer? Something's
Oh, you did?
suspect here. I
All
didn't
right.
see you move. I didn't see you get up. 4 minutes?
Whoa!
I said the N-word 6 times.
Yeah, I said it 8.
I mean,
Oh, man.
God, the New York Knicks are going to be furious with us.
Yeah, well, they lost the game. That's why we said it.
I mean, my God.
Yeah,
4
so
minutes.
if you want to see that first 4 minutes, sign up for the Patreon, and, you'll get the real deal.
You know what we should do? Because I know you have all the files of all of us, of Mark and I just shitting on everybody for 6 years, however long you've worked here.
Oh, yeah.
The blackmail for
2
it.
years. I know that you have it.
Yeah.
So we should just do the ultimate Patreon.
No, we shouldn't.
$10,000 like Quint and Jaws. $10,000 for me by myself. 10 grand, you get Chuck's fucking blackmail folder where we're calling boop a cunt and
Sure,
boop
sure.
a
A hack.
boop, and yeah, I mean that should be.
Yeah.
We'll get 100 people to give us 10 grand.
That's true.
What's that, a million?
$1,200. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but we should do that on the way out. Right, we're going to quit comedy when the boom is over. You get AIDS, I get cancer. We go, we're all dying in 8 minutes. There you go.
All right, July of next year, you'll get it.
There
Folks.
we go. All right.
I'm in a pickle, Jerry.
Ooh, I love dill or gherkin.
I hate pickles, and what's the difference?
Well, I think gherkin is a brand and a dill is the sour. I should have said
style.
sweet and dill.
Uh-huh.
Or this bread and butter.
Uncle Dill.
Yeah, chip and dill.
He was just in town.
Oh,
We'll get into it.
I
but
didn't know he left like a 10-block radius. I feel like that guy is just...
Oh, Dale?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a jet setter.
Oh, really?
He's in Aruba. He's in Vegas. I mean, you name a casino, he's there.
Oh, he's a gambler.
Big gambler, big cock,
And a
and
rambler.
a big hose, ironically.
Ah,
He's a
there
fireman
you
with a
go.
huge hose. One of my first jokes. Firemen and pimps are similar. They're nothing without their hose.
Hey, I like it. Ride
bad.
Ride that pole.
Not good.
That's something there.
What was I going to say before I got into Dale's cock and gambling?
They also got the Dalmatians, so they got bitches.
That's not bad.
We're workshopping
Spotty.
a little bit.
A bitch with spots
Yeah.
on her pussy.
Ah.
Wait, I have a pickle.
Yes.
Well, my child is only 6.5 months. I'm already dreading leaving.
Oh, you're gonna leave the family?
I can't wait. Cigarettes. I gotta go to St. Louis this weekend, and we've really been bonding and happy and fun. So I'm gonna be one of these guys. I just know it when he's 2 and 5 and 6 and 10 and 30.
Yeah.
He's got a ball game. He's got graduation. He's got a first date. He's got his first pube. I'm not gonna want to get gone.
Yeah.
So now I have to be one of these guys that like just is a radio talk show host or something. I got to figure out how to stay home.
Well, I think this is the time to leave. He's an idiot.
course.
He doesn't even speak English. He has no memories. He's not on social media. He can't tweet about you. He's a blob. He's just a thing you keep alive. The baseball game is when you stay.
I know, but I got to start planning to stay then. But also now is when we're really developing. He's like in love with me, Jerry. Later, he's like, fuck you, Dad. He is annoying. But now he's not annoying. He's just sweet and fun and
Really?
beautiful.
No crying, the shitting, the screaming, the drooling, the spitting up.
That's all wonderful stuff.
All right, that's just Sarah.
Woo! First Mother's Day. That was exciting.
Oh!
Well, people are going to be mad because it's Mother's Day was 6 months ago.
Oh, that's true. You blew it.
What are you going to do? But that's a fun day, Mother's Day. You really, and I tried to swing it where I'm like, well, you got to have an orgasm on Mother's Day.
Oh, that's good.
You got to let me eat you out for a couple of minutes.
That's a good gift. You're a good hub.
Because that's the thing with women and men. They're different, if you ask me.
Ah, cats and dogs as well, I hear.
Yeah, in L.A. and New York.
Ah,
But-
blacks and whites.
Absolutely. Very different.
They should have their own schools.
But equal. That's a lot of 5. This is episode 555.
Wow.
How about that?
That's nice for my OCD.
DD. Double D, I meant to say.
Big tits.
OC double D.
D&D. Double D and D&D, wildly different.
What's D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
They've never seen a double D.
Good point.
I have a point.
Although I feel like Dungeons and Dragons, when they do get women, they have double Ds. They're like those fat girls with foggy glasses and big pimples.
Right. I hate a foggy glass hoe.
But,
Pimps up, hose down.
what the fuck are we talking about?
You got a gherkin.
You get a pickle.
The baby, the pickle.
Yeah, bread and butter.
Yeah, so I hate podcasting. I love you.
Oh, thank you.
So on Chuck, but I got a podcast.
Sure.
But I love the road. I love
Yes.
stand-up, but I don't want to leave. I'm dreading leaving on Thursday, you see, because now I feel real love.
Yes.
I was pretending to love my wife.
Sure, that's what they say. It's the first uncondish you've ever felt. It's real. There's no, hey, if she blows me, I'll love her. Hey, she got me a gift. Now I love her. Hey, we got over a fight. Now I love her. This is just pure, uncut, not stomped on, shale Bolivian Coke.
It really is, and I think many people do bits about it, but after you have a baby, you look at your wife and you're like, I don't love you.
Of course, yeah.
You're just a lady that's here. I love him. I like you very much.
I'm there without the baby. But, no, I'm kidding. But yeah,
We're joking.
Well, that's what that great Louis joke. He's like, I got married. I was like, oh, I can't leave now. Then I had a kid, and I was like, I could have left.
Totally.
Because
And
this is real.
what's weird about that joke, though, is then he left still.
Good point.
He's like, now I can't leave, but you're like, they got divorced. Someone just knock on the door?
No, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Oh,
Okay.
ice water.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
Ice water with a lid. No ice water for you?
You want the lid?
I'll take a lid.
I'll
Get a water. Have a water.
Tap,
It'll be good.
no lid, no ice.
It'll be nice.
Thank
That's
you.
what I figured. I figured if you get a water, he's gone a couple minutes longer.
Good point. Now you're doing something to help me.
And a couple burritos
Yes,
and
paint us something, will
a
you?
New York Mets pennant.
Yes.
Head out to Shea and we'll be here.
Give me a hot dog.
Just kidding. We love Chuck. We love the wife. But
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out how to be home and gone or bring the family. Maybe I can get huge and be like a private jet with the Family Guy.
Ooh, that's huge. Well, Mulaney, I noticed, he'll put his kid right on the socials, and he's got it in the green room because he's
baby.
a private jet. Yeah, the baby.
Well, if you got the private jet and the nanny and the thing, and if you can bring a team, it works.
Oh, get a Consuela, like an old Colombian lady to take care of that thing while you're doing zingers. That's the dream.
I'm making $800 a weekend over here. I mean, we brought him to L.A.
Quit bragging.
and Austin. I hope that came off as a joke number. I'm doing better than
okay.
that. I feel like people at home are like, wait, seriously? I'm making 900, but.
There we go.
We brought him to Austin and L.A. and it's great and it was fun.
Yeah.
But it's a whole thing. I can't just
Sure.
go to the St. Louis Funny Bone. I'm going in, doing the gigs, and coming back.
Right. But this kid is seeing the States. You got to hand it to you. You're a hell of a dad. But I feel like Alan, because you're like, oh, I hate to leave the kid. But how great is it that you don't want to leave your kid? Wouldn't
That's
that suck
good.
if you're like, I cannot wait to get the fuck away from this honky.
Well, I'm sure when he's 2 and he's throwing shit and whipping farts around.
The
and
terrible twos.
all that stuff.
Hey.
That'll be tougher. But my son is 6.5 months old. He's been to Massachusetts,
Wow.
Connecticut,
Wow.
Rhode Island,
Wow.
New Jersey, New York,
Okay, the Northeast
Delaware,
corridor. Wow.
Virginia,
Gee.
Maryland,
Ah.
Washington,
Whoa.
California, and Texas.
Man, your kid started out like Franklin. He was hitting the colonies.
I mean, it's pretty wild. He's been to more states than most of my family members.
Wow.
Pretty
How do you
good.
like that? He's going to go to college first. He's going to be the first list with doing this.
No,
With the
I
tassel.
can't imagine that. He'll be a fireman or gay. I don't know.
Well, those go hand in hand.
But in 20 years, how many jobs are there going to be? There's going to be like
That's
3
true.
jobs.
Yeah.
And the rest of us will be UBI.
Get in the trades, kids. The weldings, the plumbings. That's what's really going to take off.
I don't know. Welding? A robot can weld.
Can they weld? I mean, George Weld?
I think they can drive a car.
Oh, yeah.
I think a robot can weld. Maybe a robot can't. I think they can paint. I think they can.
Yeah, but it's the nuance. It's like getting in there, and you go. I need a 1/4-inch anal here. You know, I don't know if they got the ins and outs yet. They can, if you go weld that. There's a pipe right there. They can go.
Well, you're talking. Yeah, and I'm talking. My son is 10 days old. I'm talking when he's 20 years from now. Forget about it.
You got a point there. They'll
Yep.
be making furniture and bathrobes.
We'll be out of here. I mean, it'll be two robots going, "Oh, did you come on my dad's face for me, please?"
Queef it up, anal, sloppy jalopy. Yeah, you got a point there. All right, thank you.
Chuck.
That's the one. Shelby. Yeah.
Anyways, Shelby alive, you think?
No, he's long gone. That guy tripped on a crack on the sidewalk and he shattered like T-1000. Boy, I'm a little whacked out.
Yeah, you sound a little under the weather.
I got all this. This is all pipes right here.
Sinus.
That's the one.
Could it be allergies?
Maybe, but I don't usually get the L's.
Try Zyrtec.
Yes. Well, I was in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
The Great White Way. Unless you're talking about Trudeau's face. But, yeah, that's a bitch. That whole passport, the rigmarole. You got to go up to the guy. He goes, business, pleasure, gay. And you go, I'm all three. And he looks at you funny, does the Larry David. Thank you. And it's just so silly and meaningless. And then I had to do the bag check, and I got fucking mushrooms and dildos and Special K. It was a mess.
So where were you? What Canada? Give me Canada. Give me typical.
This is what's fun. So I got Youngblood opening.
AYB.
That's the one.
Is he still losing the LBs?
Yeah, a little bit. He got the hair transplant, too, and he's really coming into his anal. Yeah. So he is good with the ones and twos. He runs a bar. He's got a nightclub. He's got tattoos. He's got a gold watch, and cool sneakers.
He gambles.
Yeah,
does coke.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's a mess.
Tattoos.
But he's got some ideas. So he goes, we're doing Victoria, BC.
Hey, that sounds like a time of existence.
It does, yes, before Christ. And now this is an island. It's kind of like a Martha's Vineyard, if you will, but it's bigger. 350,000 people live on this fucking land mass.
That's a big hunk.
Big hunk. And it ain't no vacation. This is where we got schools, we got colleges, we got queefs, we got rubbing tugs, everything you could ask for.
I love it. I always hear about this. You know me, I love the PNW, and I always want to go up there, but I have never been.
You got to get your fat ass to Vicky. You would love it. It's landscape, trees, blue skies, water, the boats, Jerry. It's great.
Rain?
No rain.
Wow.
Good climate. It's a hidden gem. I don't know why more people aren't Epstein should have gone there.
Good point. Wow, 350,000. I think Epstein Island only had children.
That's true. He liked more of a 16. That's it's a little high for him, but yeah. So he goes. It's a real cum guzzler to get out there. So why don't we do this? Let's go to Seattle the night before.
Sure.
Get on some shows, party, and hit the scene in Seattle. And I said, that's pretty good.
Why not? I love Seattle. I'll be there July 20 something.
There you go.
July 20 Thursday.
Okay.
At the Crocodile.
Really?
Rock Club.
Oh, we'll see you later, alligator.
I hear good things.
All right. So we go to Seattle. He sets up a Don't Tell.
Don't Tell is big. It's huge.
Huge. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about it, but I got to headline it. You do 30 minutes, you get a nice chunk of change, and Bob's your uncle.
No kidding. I was supposed to do a Don't Tell last night, but it got canceled, so they're not all killing it, I guess.
I guess so.
But it was outdoors and raining.
So
you know how it goes.
Well, the problem is these Don't Tells, it's a lot of young, hip cats.
Right.
So when you go in there, you realize, not everybody thinks getting jizzed in the face is a punchline.
No, these young kids, I don't know if anyone's touched on this, but they're offended a little bit easier.
Very offended and all that, and I know people get all pissy when you mention it. You can't, these comics are always complaining. And I'm like, well, we're in the front lines, and I see a lady go, oh! I'm like, hey, I talked about my gay dad. Relax.
No, they're tough. These youngsters are tough. Everything you say, even when you hang out with them, they're just eye rolling and like.
Yeah.
And then don't get me started on the tents and all that.
Oh, that's intense. So we do that, and then we go out. We have a couple of, zings and zangs, and Then we get on a boat,
A ship.
a ferry.
Fairy Goldmother.
Yes.
Goldmother.
And yeah.
Gold dust? What am I
Yeah.
thinking about?
That's a casino.
So there's fairy. Is there
It's
dust with a
pixie
fairy?
dust.
Pixie dust, then
Yes.
gold dust. What is gold dust? That's a casino and a wrestler.
Oh, it's a wrestler.
He was like the gay guy.
Was he gay?
Yeah, that was his thing.
Crazy gay.
He was like all lipsticky and gay.
Oh, wow.
That was his big angle.
I guess that's pretty scary in the ring. That's a gay guy.
Wow, this
that's
was the
enough.
90s. In the 90s,
Exactly.
that was a villain.
Yes.
Get over here. Ah! You know what I mean?
Still is in my eyes. But
In my ass.
in your ass.
The light, the heat.
All right. So we get on a boat, and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what these slaves are complaining about. It was beautiful with the views and the wind and the Pacific North jizz in your eye. It was killer.
Now, what kind of boat? Are we talking a car ferry, a sailboat, a ship, a speedboat, a dinghy, a clipper?
Talking car ferry. Put that
Okay.
puppy right on there, and the drawbridge comes down. Beep beep bop bop. There's a guy with a little hat, and he goes, "All aboard!" Boop boop. So cool, and you're like, man, comedy really brings you in some fun places.
Absolutely. Oh, the places you'll go.
Yes.
Dr. Seuss, I think.
Ah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, he was good.
Absolutely.
Jew hating.
No kidding.
Oh, did he hate the Hebes?
No kidding. Well, he's not alone these days.
No, you got that right. He was ahead of his time. Although hating Jews is kind of timeless. It's like jeans.
Yeah.
So we go to Victoria, and it's one of those like, oh my God, look at this place. We had lobster on the water. We had oysters. We had a couple of drinks, and you're just looking out, and you're like, what the fuck? This is here? This has been here the whole time?
That's amazing.
Incredible. We do 2 shows. The shows are lights out. It's one of these like, thank you for coming here. We're on Alcatraz. No one comes here. And it was just a hoot and a holler.
I bet a lot of people traveled for that, too. They said, hey, Norman's going to Victoria. Let's make a weekend of it.
You got that right. We saw a couple of them on the boat, and you had to shuck and jive, which is tough because a boat is, it's not a lot of square feet.
It's already shucky and jivey itself, what with the waves and
the oysters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the shows were great, and then we go out, and we just bang one on. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where Youngblood's good. So I go, what's the deal for tomorrow? I'm half in the bag. It's 4 a.m. I'm like, what are we doing tomorrow? He's like, well, we got a flight in about 10 minutes to go to Vancouver. The flight is 14 minutes.
Love that.
Which I like, but you still got to go to the airport. You still got a security. You still got a queef. So I go, what about a boat? He goes, beep, 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 beep. I can't do any of this. And he's like, the boat is an hour. It's pretty, and it's this much, and it leaves at this time. And I go, that's pretty good, too. And then we start talking to some locals at the bar, and they go, here's the problem. Airport is an hour away from here. Then when you land in Vancouver, their airport is 40 minutes from the city.
Right.
You could take the boat. Boat's a little better, but here's the move. Now we got about 8 guys in Victoria all chiming in, and he goes, seaplane.
Seaplane?
Seaplane. C-word. From the river to the seaplane. I'm talking, the floaty plane that goes beep, boop,
I mean, I love a seaplane.
Love a C-section. So we go, what's the deal with the seaplane? They go, it's a little more money, but the dock is 10 feet away from here, right by the hotel, and it lands in downtown Vancouver.
Right by Stanley Park. Where
Right by Stanley Park.
We had our walk years ago.
Stanley Kowalski.
Well, they're never going to see the Stanley Cup.
That's true. So, the Canucks, they did have a big loss. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, they're in it.
Okay. So, we go seaplane, and he's looking, and he's like, they're all sold out because there's about 8 seats on that thing. So we got one at 9 a.m, which was pretty good, but it's still hard for us because it's 5 now.
Sure.
So you're like, all right, but the beauty is it's 10 feet away. You got to wake up. You got to be there half an hour early. There's no security. It's a dream. So we got on the seaplane, and we're like hung over, and we're chatting with the pilots, and we took some photos. The propeller's right up your ass, right here. 28-minute flight, downtown Vancouver, walk to our hotel. Best day of my life.
No kidding. You're like Baloo.
Yes,
Remember that show? Tailspin. I forgot about that. Remember that
Kit.
show?
Yes,
Kit
Baloo.
Cloud Kicker.
Oh, I wanted to blow that kid.
He was something. That
He
was a good kid.
Sexy little bear. That
Your
guy.
Baloo. Jimmy Buffett had a seaplane.
Really?
Yeah.
Won't
And
you take me
the
away?
Albatross, I think it was called.
Ooh, that's fun.
Oh, that was a little guy.
Sorry,
That
I
was
had
a little squirt box.
had a PB&J earlier.
Is that right?
I love a PB.
Do you ever have this? If someone mentions a food, I'm like, I got to get one of those.
I do
I
have
haven't had one of those in a minute. Someone's like, oh, man, I had a strawberry sundae with cum on it. I'm like, I got to make one of those ASAP. Let me run to the bathroom.
Yeah, give me a cream pie. But yeah, no, I hear you. You get that, and once you get it in your head, you can't get it out. You got to go eat it. It's almost like a bad set. You got a bad set. You're not going to feel good till you get a good one.
Right.
Once I hear about a cream pie, I got to go get one.
Have you done a cream pie? Have you ever eaten the jizz right out of your wife?
Whoa, I didn't say anything about eating it.
Oh,
You just do a cream pie.
Oh, well,
Right?
that's not anything exciting. That's just regular.
That's just making a baby.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Oh, my
It's a
God.
big slam.
We have a new neighbor, and she's a woman, and we are yelling about coming in ice cream and eating it.
Yes,
Her
and
door
cream
was-
pies.
Her door was open.
Oh, well.
This is trouble.
I think this is.
We did get rid of one guest. We're like that. What's that movie where they keep pissing off people and they leave and they cheer?
Huh.
I might have made that up. But,
Spartacus?
nah, there's like these people live in a house and then people move in and they go, they scare them.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, they're
That's
doing a
the
prequel.
one. Yeah, we're Beetlejuice and we're just constantly kicking people out.
But this is seriously going to be a problem.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I
I
was
can
just thinking the
hear
same
her
thing.
talking up the whole. I mean, this is like a businesswoman with a business suit.
Yes,
She's a
yes.
woman. At least before it was like an alpha dude who was yelling.
Right.
He was
right.
annoyed.
Yeah.
But this is like harassment. I mean, this is like we're going to be arrested.
Well, the door's closed and we're working.
But like,
This is our job.
I mean, I agree, obviously. But I'm just saying, she's not going to be like, well, they're working. The door's closed.
Sure.
She's calling.
sure.
She's calling in the buy, sell, whatever, and we're talking about eating our wife's
By
pussies with cum in it.
yeah, by people, by Puck. Yeah, you're right. We got a bit of a situation here. You know, what we should put on the door is like that rating they put on the rap CDs.
Oh, parental advisory,
Yes,
explicit
yes.
lyrics, Tipper Gore.
Yeah, that way you go, hey, it's a little inappropriate in there. You go, hey, got the old parental.
I know, but I try to be. I don't know what noises I just made. That was
Full
crazy. I
pterodactyl
sounded like
there.
a dog. A dog's mouth, but I try to see things from the other side as best I can.
Seaplane.
Sometimes it's a little difficult these days, but if I rented a place,
Oh, I hear yelling.
She's just on the phone. It's
Oh,
regular.
okay. I thought
no, I
she
think
was,
she's down the hallway.
Yeah, I thought she was down the hall yelling at the front desk lady.
I
that
think so,
can't
too.
work like this.
No, she's on the phone. I
Are you
can hear her.
sure?
Maybe crack it a little.
Oh boy, Seattle Kraken. It always stops
Every
when you
time.
open the door.
Every
yeah.
single time.
It's like Murphy's jizz.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
But,
Worst
but if
game
I
port I've ever seen.
if I started a practice,
Oh, yes.
I'm very proud of that poll. A practice,
That's what doctors do, too, which is weird.
doctors practice, lawyers practice.
Yeah, they always say practice safe sex. Well, shouldn't we have safe sex? Why are we practicing safe sex?
Yeah, what does practice
That
mean?
would mean fucking a couch with a condom on. We're practicing.
You're putting it into practice. Which
Putting
is
it
doing
into practice. It's kind of like invest.
Ah,
I invested in a shirt.
well, that makes a little more sense.
I guess, but you also you invest in a company is different than investing in pants.
Sure.
I mean, I guess it's kind of similar,
Well,
but
who
it's
invests in a
different.
shirt?
Well, there's also well, people say that.
Oh, I've never heard people say, I'm going to go
I got to invest
in
I got to invest in a better coat. You hear people say that.
Okay, a coat.
I got to
got
invest in a jersey.
Got it.
The other thing is,
Vestibule.
I think we talked about this too, is believe. I don't believe in guns.
Ah, yes, but
You're
they're
like,
right
I
there.
don't believe in tooth fairies. Like this
Yeah.
believe I believe this stupid thing,
Good
like
point.
God.
Yeah.
But then there's believe, just kidding, everyone's gonna get mad.
I
But
don't believe in myself.
believe, yeah, I don't believe in abortion.
Right.
But I'm like, well, it happens all the time. I
Yes.
had one yesterday.
Right. That's a good point. I like that. Fun with words.
But anyways, if I had a practice and there was two assholes talking about eating cum.
Yeah.
By the way, we're like middle aged too, which is the funniest.
I know. We're in our 40s here. But yeah, we're at work and it's a podcast and we were here first. God
Damn
damn
right.
it. So
Damn right, you bitch.
Yeah, get used to it. This is the neighborhood you moved into. So, all right.
But also, we're gonna move soon. Didn't some guy email me? Don't you know a guy?
I
You
know
met
a couple
guy.
guys.
You talked to a guy.
But we got to run out the lease here.
That's the problem.
October is the lease.
October.
And today it's May right now. So what's
Okay.
that? 5
5
months?
June, July, August, September, October. Oh boy, that's a good fiver.
Well, we'll just slip a note and give us 5 months, and
That's not bad.
whatever. We're only here once a week.
That's not bad. That's
Yeah.
true for what, a couple hours? Can't beat that.
Yeah, and hopefully, whatever.
Yeah. Imagine if you have a shitty neighbor. They're only there once a week. That's the dream.
That's fantastic.
All right, I got a fantastic.
The problem is once a week, though, she's on the phone with the client being like, I will get you out of this child molestation case.
Jizz in my ass with a bullhorn.
But any farts.
Yeah.
So you take the seaplane, you get on, and now what's the clientele like on a seaplane?
Actually, I think the Victoria, it's an island, so everything's way more money, but it's a lot of honkies and a lot of well-to-dos. It's nobody in a suit. It's some guy in a Patagonia and a backpack. Mm-hmm. It's just regular kind of Seattle-y looking crunchy people.
Right. I love a crunch. I love the PNW. I'm going to move there and a few other places.
Yeah, it's a hell of an area. A little boring. I could see because I pulled a list. I'm like, I'm moving here. This is it. That's it. Pulling up stakes. And then you're there 2 days and you're like, all right, we've had enough shellfish.
That's every place.
I guess so, except for this place. I'll tell you that. New York City, always something popping.
New York is fun, but California, final answer, that's it. That's where I'm heading.
All right.
Burbank, the
Yeah.
Valley.
Gonna love the kooks, the homeless, downtown LA, Skid Row. You gotta put a mask on. We'll see you next year.
Well, I'll go to Encino or whatever. Fahim lives in Encino.
Oh,
Fahim
really?
Encino.
Encino man.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. But there's Reseda, living in Reseda.
That's true. That's
a long
true.
day.
There's what's that called? Pasadena is very nice.
Pasadena, a little far, I feel like. But maybe
Pasadena
not that bad.
Hashem.
Pasadena is spectacular. The Rose Bowl, the Rose
Sure.
bushes.
What do you like? You like the Dodgers?
I like them. I mean,
Hey, you might have to
I
get
like
on
Dodger
board.
Stadium. I love
Okay.
Dodger Stadium.
There we go.
But I don't like him. He's a good guy and a great fighter, but I don't like him.
All right. Draft Dodger.
But yeah, so I don't know. California, it's probably Jersey. I'll go to Jersey.
All right.
Because you're here, you know what I mean?
Yes, I'll take it.
So,
All right. Well, hey, we'd love to have you. I'll come visit you in Jersey. I like Jersey.
are you moving to this house at any point, or?
We got the final move in.
It really feels like a ruse, like you've just been kidding for
Yeah.
a year. Because, I mean, when did you buy this place? Over a year ago.
At least. Yeah. It was supposed to be done in 8 months, and it's been a year and a half, and it's a fucking nightmare. I'm tied up in a lawsuit. I got bills up the wazoo. I get calls every day. How do you like this wood sample? What do you think about this lighting fixture? And I go, just put it all in. So I'm going to get in there, and it's going to look like Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm going to have mismatched chandeliers with a roller rink floor and a hockey stadium on the roof and a garden in the lobby.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to meet him. But I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But
It's a beauty, but I'm spinning plates. It's a head spin.
I've heard buying a house is the biggest nightmare, which makes me just not want to do it.
Nightmare. Well, if you do it, get a fixer-upper, pay cash, and move on with your life.
Well, this is what I got to do, though. I need a house, because here's why. You've been to my apartment.
Very nice.
It's a nice apartment, but it's an apartment, and we still have the basement. There's like an office downstairs. It used to
Sure.
be one floor below, so we could use the Wi-Fi from our apartment.
The Wi-Fi.
The router or the modem or whatever the fuck. And I could use some help or advice from any of you wizards out there, grand wizards.
Get on Reddit.
Reddit's good.
Aha.
I've fallen in love with Reddit. I'm on all kinds of positive Reddits.
Oh, there you go.
I only knew Reddit as where everyone goes to
Yes.
call you a piece of shit cunt. But there's some
Exactly.
really convenient Reddits out there.
There you go.
There's exercise Reddit, there's mental health Reddit, there's parent Reddit.
That's a big step to flip something into a positive, because this was all just seen as hell on earth and mean, and then you flipped it. It's almost like the Klan. Yeah, they're horrible, but they cleaned up the neighborhood.
Sure. Well, that reminds me of, I talk about this all the time. Luis Gomez, like 10 years ago, was like, I had to get off Reddit. That's how bad Reddit is. And I had never been on Reddit. When he said that, I was like, I'm going to steer clear of that fucking shit.
Yes.
But-
Jesus.
but
His dad
anyways.
was stabbed, and he's hanging out with that.
So we have this office downstairs where we've done the podcast a few times. and we could use the Wi-Fi, but now we moved to the second floor. So our Wi-Fi doesn't work in the basement, and the basement was Sarah's office, which saved our marriage during COVID because we each had a place to go.
A little
But now,
church and state.
there's no Wi-Fi down there, so now she's doing all of her work in the kitchen, which is the same as the living room, basically.
Sure.
So I'm watching the Bruins,
Oh.
and I just hear she's editing clips. So it's like, you ever be shopping? You ever be shopping? You ever be shopping? You know when someone edits, you edit.
Well-
it's just like the same word over and over again. And I'm like, I'm trying to watch The Lost Boys.
But there's a thing called a headphone. Can we get a headphone? Raycon cooking?
I know every once in a while, but you feel bad being like, could you put the headphones on? 'Cause you feel like
Yeah.
an asshole. And I'm watching the TV. And the whole we're all right there. And then the dishes too. Just doing all the dishes, and I'm like, we're on the power play, you goddamn son of an onion.
There's no headphone for a dish, but hey, you got the game on. I mean, what's the difference? You need to hear the click clack of the skates.
But I want to hear, there's a shot by Neely, he shoots, he scores, right, boy?
Yeah, I do like the commentary. I want to hear the UFC. I go, I didn't know that was called a roundhouse or whatever. I like all the little nuggets.
You want the thing, and you're also trying to focus, and you just hear clunk, clonk.
Yeah, it takes you out of it.
And the other thing is, you got, hey, what do you want to do on May 5th? What?
Oh,
We got to take a trip. We got to see a train. I'm like,
This is a lady thing.
now I love, it's vice versa too, because she's watching Vanderpump Jizz and House of Cards or whatever, House of Tards. And I'm,
Sweet tards.
I'm in the kitchen going, I might have a smoothie. And she's like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you have a smoothie.
Yeah, well, who are you talking to, Rain Man?
Which, by the way, I got a good insight, and I shouldn't bring up Karen. But,
Oh boy.
but I got a good insight into my relationship because
Uh-oh.
Karen is such a cunt of a human.
Oh, trash heap.
So the other day, we're in LA. We all shared a house. We're all friends,
Yes.
everybody.
Like the TV show.
I didn't write the fucking movie, and we're all friends, you fucking idiots. But so I'm driving with Karen in the car, and I go,
Is she in the baby seat?
this is where that ass wouldn't fit in any baby seat.
That's a good point. That needs a hatchback.
So I point to a house and I go, that's the house the Uber Eats guy was at the other night.
What's
and
that
she goes, what? And I go, when the Uber Eats guy thought he was at my house, he thought he was at our house, but he was at this house. That's the same address. And she goes, why would I give a fuck? What information is that useful to me? I don't care.
Okay.
And it gave me an insight into my marriage because I'm like, that's the house from 3 days ago that the
Right.
delivery guy. And Sarah just stares.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why doesn't she respond when I say something? But I realize she's too nice of a person to go, I don't give a fuck. Who gives a fuck?
Well, that's a great wife.
Which one? That's why it's nice. That's why it's nice to have a woman who's a piece of shit around.
Yes.
Because she tells you the real thing.
Well, it's not a woman who's being shit. She's a friend.
Right.
She can give it to you straight.
But it gave me a good insight because I have a thing where everything I think, I say out loud.
Yes.
My whole life. I
Yes.
go, I'm a little hungry. And this is why people think I'm a cunt and a bitch and a fag and a douche.
Right.
And a cuck and all these things. Because I'm like, well, man, I'm a little tired. This guy's tired all the time. I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm just saying, I just had that thought. I'm hungry. Well, this guy's always hungry.
That's a good yin and yang because I don't say what I'm thinking all the time, and you do it. I think my wife's the same way. She's always like, well, I might have a Coca-Cola. And I go, all right, I don't care. But I need a person around to say that.
Right, we're flipped. So I'm
yang.
I'm
Andrew
driving
yang.
around every second. I'm going, look at that billboard. Oh, that's a cool movie. I remember seeing that movie. Look at that TV show. I love Chipotle. Chipotle would be nice right now, but really, I want a smoothie. And my wife's just staring.
Yes.
And I realize she wants to Karen me.
Yes.
And be like, shut up, you fucking crooked tooth piece of shit. You
Yeah.
got a small dick and big herpes.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Yeah, well, that's a good friend. See, that's when you know you're got a genuine pal. Is when they
Yes.
can go, I don't give a fuck about the address, Uber Eats, you fat whore.
Is that a good pal or a bad pal?
I think it's a good pal. I mean, look,
Okay.
you don't have to call you a small dick, herpes-ridden forehead face. But, I think keeping it real is part of a balanced breakfast.
Right.
But, you know what you got to do? You get into this hot water.
I've tried. Neither one of them's down.
All right. What you got to do is you're on this hot water with all this horse shit with Karen. You got to make a movie where you're friends. You had the movie where you make out, and you got all this shit. You got to make a movie where you're your brother and sister.
Hey, couple things.
Well, that might be a porno.
I'm not in any hot water. It's these assholes that messaged us going, hey, you can fucking...
That's what I mean.
My relationship's never been better. We're tip-top.
Sure.
It's these fucking lunatics at home going, well, look at the...
Right.
Also, you sound like them. We didn't make out. It was
I don't
a
know.
closed-lipped kiss.
I'm trying to throw a bone out. I don't know what the folks are saying. I don't read that shit.
Fucking comments and emails being like, you wrote a movie so you can make out with her. A, I didn't write it. And B,
it was a
you're
peck.
a fucking incel, nerd, dork virgin if you think that's a makeout. I fucking lips kissed the way I kissed Chuck on his birthday.
Gregory Peck.
I wouldn't make out with that woman with your tongue.
No, you'd have to get your lips dry cleaned.
No, we didn't. We pecked and pecked. And
why I poked.
I didn't write the goddamn film or direct it, although it's a damn good movie, I think.
It's fun. Keith killed it, but well, let me get back to the Canucks.
Oh, yes, the Canucks.
So we did Vancouver, and how about this? The hotel we stayed at was the hotel where Comedy Mix was in the basement. You remember that club?
Oh, that was one of the great clubs ever.
Great club.
All-time club.
Banger of a club, lunch club. Comedy Mix just died in COVID. It was one of those clubs with the hotel on top of it, so you could just meet a fat lady in a wheelchair and get on that elevator and, pop into the bed.
I did that club twice. Two of the best nights ever. Once with you.
Oh, at the
and
fest.
Veeder, the festival. You, me, Veeder,
Maria
and Hanley,
Bamford.
and Sam.
And Sam and Maria
What
Bamford
a
and Carmen
fucking
Lynch.
lineup.
Yes.
And then I did it with Louie when we were doing the arena. We did the Vancouver fucking hockey arena.
Wow.
And we did. We went to the mix.
You did a pop in?
Big pop.
Love a pimple pop.
Speaking of which, she's popping in at Fat Black tonight with my show.
Oh, you
Come
got
by.
an hour?
Yeah,
What time?
7p.
All right, I'm on New York Comedy Club at 7:30, but I might. He's going up first, I assume.
I have Derek Drescher, and then probably Louie, and then me.
Boy, Drescher's on the roster now.
He's in the roster.
Look
He's
at that.
in the group.
He made the team. You're off the bench, you big homo. But yeah, so I go up to the deck because you feel crazy. We're hungover. We're on a seaplane. I'm a little wonky, and you go up to the front desk. You go, "Am I nuts, or was there a comedy club beneath us?" And the guy goes, "Oh, great club. People come by, still ask about club." And I go, "All right."
What's the accent?
I don't know. He was Asian, but yeah. So we had a great time in the hotel, and we did the Vogue Theater, 2 shows. What a banger. I mean, that is a great room. And a guy hit me up and he goes, "Hey, I'm at the theater." And I'm like, "Who's this?" He's like, "I'm filming for you tonight. We set this up 8 months ago." I go, "Oh, great." Turns out he did Soder special. He did Quinn special. So I was like, "Oh, God, I got a ringer here." And we had a great time. And yeah, flew back. Seat 26A, Air Canada. Fuck Air Canada. You can suck my ass. There's no Wi-Fi. The TV didn't work. I'm on 26A. I tried everything to get upgraded. I got in the lounge at least.
Okay.
Here's the lounge for this is why Canadians are a bunch of queefs. It's breakfast. I had just got raped in customs. My ass is bleeding. I go to the lounge. Hey, maybe I'll sit on a bag of ice. This is the lounge food. Yogurt, a cut boiled egg, and baked beans. You goddamn hockey playing, Mountie blowing, red leaf Jews. Baked beans.
Baked beans. I'm from
breakfast.
Boston, and I don't like a baked bean for
Exactly.
lunch, dinner, or dessert.
Exactly.
I'd rather eat my own cum.
I would have
I like
put that.
that.
I think that was the yogurt. But, so you get in the lounge, you're like, "I made it." And then it's a goddamn baked bean up your ass. And, yeah. By the way, what am I, a terrorist? I got on the plane. I ate about a gallon of baked beans, and I'm just like, I was a prop plane. I felt like I was propelling the whole plane with my ass.
Wow. I mean, the 26A is appalling. I love that you're
Yeah.
like, I tried to get in first class. I'm like, well, you couldn't take out your wallet.
I tried. It was
first class.
I tried that. I would have paid top dollar, but it was taken.
Your thing's way off. I got my own timer.
I'm like 5 minutes behind, right?
Yeah, 9.
Oh, that's a big miss.
I'm telling you.
9's a big
I'm
jump.
at 39. I pressed play.
Play.
4 minutes in when we start. Remember I said cameras were rolling for 4 minutes beforehand?
Yeah.
And I'm at 39 minutes, so that'd be 35. It's all right. Let's cut this.
All right. We'll cut this.
Cut this.
We'll cut
Bad,
this,
bad.
but I mean, I'm over here.
Yeah. Well, you got to cut that part out.
Yeah, you're a whack job. You don't know what the hell's going on.
All right.
You're fired. You're out of here.
Give me a water. No.
I would love to be a baseball umpire just for one game, just so I can go, you want me to run you? I'll run you.
Oh, yeah.
You're out of there. How
That's
fun
good.
would that be?
And you do the chest bump and the kick in the dirt.
Yeah, it'd be good stuff.
Well, that Leslie Nielsen, that first Naked Gun is that I was an 8-year-old boy. I was on my tippy toes, wearing panties, and howling at the moon when I saw that scene.
no, it's the greatest. It's the funniest scene of all time when he does the fucking
Michael
the flip around.
twist.
That's amazing. The realization of the crowd
Yes,
after
yes,
the first strike.
exactly.
The
Enrico
delay
Palazzo.
on the first time.
Oh,
I mean, the
man.
guy's in the wrong seat. It's one of the great visual jokes of all time.
Oh my God, that was gold.
It's the greatest. It's
Yeah.
the fucking greatest film of all time. And
he goes, strike. The crowd goes
and then
wild.
calling the strike before the ball gets there. It's just too many. The bloopers, the tiger, the car.
Ooh, the tiger. Oh, I forgot about the tiger. Remember the guy goes up for the catch, his head comes off.
It's
He
the
gets hit
tall
by the
order
ball.
in Nuremberg. I mean, heroin.
Oh, and then how about the what is that guy's name? George Kennedy.
Yes.
He's eating a popsicle. Then he has a chili dog. Then he drinks a beer. I mean, that scene, we love it.
How about the George Kennedy when he goes, you got something on the side of your mouth? No, the other side, and it's half a banana.
Banana, yeah.
The microscope. Use the open eye, Frank. Remember that one? He goes, look at this. He goes,
yeah.
I don't see anything. He goes, use your open eye, Frank.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, even the opening scene with the car and the light on top with the siren, and it
Forget
goes
about
into a gynecologist's office, and it goes into a women's locker room. They all go, ah.
That's all time. Well, that came from the tits. What the fuck was that?
I tasted that one.
That came from the nipples.
So, yeah, getting back was a cunt and a half, but we got back, and, yeah, all's well that ends well. Me and the wife had a nice little date last night. We really hit the town.
For Mother's Day.
It was a Mother's date. After the abortion, we feel like we should celebrate.
That's fun. Yeah, we had a nice little date day yesterday, too. We went to Astoria Taco Factory.
Ooh.
I got to give a shout out. If you're in Astoria, I know we got a few gays in Astoria or whatever. This place is premium. I usually
Taco
get it.
Factory.
I think it's called Taco Factory, but it's not a factory.
Oh, good, because, got to have a union.
I think it's just like a little place. It should be Taco House because it's very small.
Casa.
But I always get it delivered. We went there. They couldn't have been nicer. Some of the best salsa I've ever had in my life. I got an enchilada with salsa verde.
I love salt. Well, Verde is what? The green? I
Yeah.
see. Then there's Rojo.
Rojo Perez.
Yes.
And this was the best. It was the best. I love Magnolia out there in
Oh,
Austin.
yeah.
This was better, best, and it's real Mexican. This isn't like white hipsters at a diner. This is
Sure.
Mexican. So Astoria Taco Factory.
All right, the migrants finally got a gig.
Give it up, give it out,
Give it a goog.
zip it up and zip it out. But yeah, I had a weird week. I was home all weekend. I was supposed to be in Indianapolis. That got moved to September. I'm still coming, not till September, because my niece was moving out of school. Just like that, they come and go. It feels like just 6 weeks ago I was talking about how she moved in.
How do you like that? Yeah, your kid's already 6 months. I mean, it flies like a seaplane.
Well, it goes slow until you step back.
Right.
Like, I feel like I've had this child for 10 years.
It does feel like that.
So I always feel like the more life you're living, and I think there's like science to it, stuff feels longer.
I don't
You
know.
know?
I feel like when
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
I feel like when I'm busy and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm running around, it zooms.
No.
You don't think? Because I feel like when I'm sitting there staring at the paint dry, I'm like, this life is forever.
Well, it feels fast. If you're doing the same thing every day, life flies because nothing's happening. You're not taking in any information.
I guess
Don't you
so.
feel like when you have a day like that, L.A., doesn't it feel like we were in L.A. together fucking 6 years ago?
Yeah, true.
That was a week ago.
That was a week ago, maybe less.
That was 8 days ago. We did the live pod.
Is that right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But since then, you've been to Vancouver and the thing and
Victoria,
Seattle.
seaplane.
That I'm legitimately like blown away right now as I'm saying this. That live episode was 8 days ago.
Yeah, it's kooky.
I feel like I haven't seen Salacuse in 6 months. My whole life has changed since then.
Yes, but that's a great way to live. We're packing in 8 days. We're packing in more in our ass than a gay guy on Christopher Street.
Well, think about it. If you work from home and you're working from home Monday through Friday and your day looks the same, 8 months feels like one day.
I see.
Because it's
the same
you're
shit.
doing the same thing. But if you, in the course of 6 days, we've all been on vacation, obviously, whatever you do for a living. You go to Paris and you go up the Eiffel Tower and you go to the Louvre and you fuck a kid and you go paint a picture. You come back and you're like, that was a whirlwind. I feel like I've been home in a year.
Yeah. Well, have you seen this video is going viral? A guy goes, I'm going to film a day in the life of a normal person. And it's a guy who's 28, a college grad who has a 9 to 5. He goes to work at 9, whatever, does an office job, goes and gets lunch at noon, clocks out at 5, goes home to his wife and his kids, does the commute, plays with his kids, fucks his wife, has dinner with his family, and then goes to bed. And it's the most boring, nothing video. And all these young kids are like, what the fuck? Who could live like this? Oh, my God. Imagine being in an office all day. So it's a very interesting insight that it's popping off. This is the most boring thing. It's the quote-unquote normal life, and everybody's freaking out about it.
Right, interesting.
Isn't that weird? That says something.
Well, I just think if you have a job, you got to break up the monotony.
Yeah.
You go, after work, you got to hit the bar or go to the gym or watch a movie. Try to mix things up a little bit because it gives you it triggers new memories and thoughts and whatever, and that'll extend your life.
Totally. I mean, I grew up in Louisiana. You grew up out there in Witt. And how many friends you got I have friends who've never been to Canada. They've never left Louisiana. They never left New Orleans. They don't give a shit. They don't want to leave there. They go to the Super Bowl, watch Super Bowl every year. They watch the game. They have a hot dog, and then they kill themselves.
Yeah, I mean, my parents will not have a passport at any point in their lives.
Wow. There's so much world out there.
I know.
Where's the curiosity?
But I think we might have talked about this before, but you forget because you see the world the way you see it.
That's right.
So I got traveling in my bones since I was a boy. I want to go everywhere.
Like the Truman Show. You want to go to Fiji.
Right, but many of these people, it is not in their mind. Like, I don't think my mother gives a fuck about Germany or Ecuador. If you said, I'm going to give you a free trip to Ecuador. In fact, I'll give you $1,000 to go to Ecuador for 10 days. She would say, thank you, no thank you.
It's work. That's a chore you're giving me.
Yeah, and not just a chore, but like, I don't want to not speak the language. I don't want to eat that food. I don't want to be in a jungle. You could get killed as a tiger. You could get mauled. You could get robbed. You could get killed.
That.
I mean, most people live in cities, but like most people that don't live in a major city don't want anything to do with a major city.
Right.
Nobody in my family, well, not nobody in my family, but the older generation of my family is like, we should go down there to the World Trade Center.
No.
They're like, I don't want to fucking the traffic and the horns and the honking.
Yeah. Well, when you put it like that, it does sound pretty shitty, but, you can do that with everything. Hey, I don't want to have a kid. The shitting, the crying, the screaming, that's no good.
Of course.
But they had a kid or two.
Right. I don't know that they wanted to.
Yeah. See, I think of most people, that's funny because most people are like, I want to go to Thailand and not have a kid. Your parents are like, I'll have a couple kids and not go to Thailand.
Right. Well, I think too, before
that was the norm.
It was in them to be like, you're supposed to have a kid now. I mean, how many people get married because they think they're supposed to? How many people in this room get married because they think they're supposed to?
Guilty.
At least one.
At least.
JK, LOL. Boy, May's having a tough one in this one.
Well, it's funny. Speaking of her, she for Christmas, I don't know, 2 years ago, her brother and her sister got together and they said, for the Christmas gift for the folks, let's get them a trip to Paris. And I was like, oh, baby, that's a great gift. You guys are great kids. Your parents are going to shit blood. I pulled the phone out. I filmed the reaction, secretly. I was behind the scenes. And they go, here you go. Envelope with the tickets and the whole thing. And the mom goes, It's a lot of work. I was like, I got the whole thing on tape. It's beautiful.
I'm telling you, these people, they don't want to. And this is what my therapist says sometimes because, certain people in my life, parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going to Palm Springs. I rented a house. Get excited.
Hot
and
dog.
I think they're like, okay, we got to. And I just picture them alone in the bedroom going, we got to go to fucking Palm Springs. He bought a ticket. It's 115 degrees. I don't give a shit. I hate mountains. I hate snakes. I hate lizards. I hate whatever the fuck.
Sand, beach, sun, cancer, nightmare.
Yeah, so.
Well, can't you feel it sometimes, too? Like, I was at the Netflix Fest with you. I had one night I had to go to a casino gig in Coachella Valley. So Salacuse is like, I got a car. I'll drive you. I go, okay, but this is... we're going to leave L.A. We're going to be in traffic. It sounds like fun. Hey, a couple comics going to a gig. 2.5 hours in, he's like, he's dying. I can see he's like, he's fading. So he's like, we gotta get some food. And I was like, all right, we'll get some food. That's going to add a lot of time to the trip. We had to pull over, get the In-N-Out. I bought him a burger. I bought him a shake. I was like, I'll drive. Come on. And he's like, I got it. But he gets to the casino. What does he do in the green room? He falls asleep. He couldn't hack it.
Out.
He's not one of us. He's not, he is, but he's not, he doesn't get the road life.
He's tuckered, but he just wants to be with you. This man loves you.
Well, I love the guy
Salacuse loves you more than I've ever loved a person in my life.
Unconditional.
He sends me every clip of you, every video, every premise. He'll text me, you should have heard what Mark said. I'm like, I don't care what Mark said.
Well, I wish he was my dad.
He goes, oh, here's the clip. Here's a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm like, you sent this to me already. He sent me this trailer for this video you got twice, two times.
I feel bad for his kid. His kid's probably like, what about me, Dad? How about a hug?
Well, his son's walking around going, comedy, Dad. Comedy. Come on, notice me.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's not. Everyone's not built for this, is what I'm saying. And then we drove back, and the guy was tuckered out. I have a photo of him. We can put on the Patreon. He fell asleep on the couch in the green room, and I walk in. I went. Because it's gold. Me and the opener, Caleb Sidon, we're chugging beers and high-fiving. We're working on bits. It was great.
Well, it's different strokes for different folks. I mean, again, we were in L.A., and every night I was back at the house with a nice stogie listening to... I listened to that when I was on stage, too. But, it was me and Derek and Erica and Karen and Sarah and the cigar and the baby. And I've never been happier. And then I see a video of like, here's what you missed at the Comedy Store. And it's Bert shirtless and Dave Chappelle and you. And walking in, I'm like, I would not be there if you gave me money.
Really?
Well, there's 80 people. You're not having a real conversation. You're yelling in the ear. What is it?
Yeah,
We should work together. Okay, great. Right. Yeah, what? Another cocktail? All right. Oh, Chappelle's going on. Everybody, we got to listen to what he has to say. Yeah. Okay, be quiet. When are you going on? I can't. Meanwhile, we're back at the house going, what the fuck? It's like the old Seinfeld. How do people live like that?
Yeah.
Which I remember having with my friend Ira Proctor. We would drive up the same thing, a gig in New Hampshire, and we're looking at these farmers on a house going, that's crazy. Look at these people. They're living upstate New Hampshire on a farm. They're milking, they're jerking cows off.
They're hoeing, tilling the soil.
And we would laugh so hard because meanwhile, they're like, we have a 30 rack of beers in a beat-up used Ford Taurus.
Hell yeah.
And we're literally drinking beers and popping Vicodin on our way to make $60.
Yeah.
And they're going, what are you, crazy? I raise chickens and then eat them. I'm raising a child.
Yes.
And we're like, literally, both feet are on a 30 rack of Busch Light.
I know it well.
And we're drinking them with the sun out. I mean, you did it the same gig in the back seat. I'm handing you Vicodin
we were
and going,
popping Vicodin. Yeah, we were eating steaks in a bungalow in the middle of nowhere in a carport, and then we got into a fist fight or something, and we wrecked the place.
Well, Ira claimed his favorite comedian was Mark Twain, and we almost fist fought. It's the angriest I've ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, famously, we got in an argument about whether or not the East River was a river. And I got out of my own car and spit on the windshield. I hocked a loogie on my own windshield because he was driving.
Well,
and I was like, I'll fucking walk from here.
We were banged up already. The sun was still, I think we did a 6 p.m. gig. It was in a carport. It was like, there was a stage and a outdoor with picnic tables and like a little shitty shingle metal roof. And that was the gig.
Yes. And we got in this big argument. Him and I also got in an argument one time about why the scoring was lower in the mid-2000s in the NBA, and I was saying it's better defense, and he was saying it's worse offense, and we almost fist fought. I mean, we had to be separated.
Interesting.
I mean, it was like pulling each other apart. You motherfucker! I'll get you, motherfucker! You fucking piece of shit!
Back to umpire.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I had a drinking problem.
Well, yeah, we're all half in the bag or in the bag. There was no half.
Oh yeah, all the way in the bag.
Yeah.
And it was
boy.
great times. But
Good time. But that I do kind of miss that wild youth of just like, who cares? We might get into a wreck. We might die. We might beat each other up. We might blow each other. Tomorrow, what wasn't real?
right.
And there was no phone, really. I mean, there was a phone, but it wasn't. Now you kind of feel like if I'm not documenting, I'm not alive.
I know.
Back then, you just lived.
I know. Now there's no more just fun. I've said this all the time. Like, there's no more just like, I had a great set and I riffed, and there's no more great, that was a great hang. It's
Yeah.
like in the middle of it, you're like, fuck, we should be recording this.
I know. It's so gay.
And a great set. Sometimes I'll have like the set of my life and I'm riffing, and I'm just mad that I'm like, I didn't get a camera guy.
I know.
I should be like, that was the best show of my life.
It's gross. You know what they should do? You know they have key parties? Remember key parties?
No, what's that?
That's where you go into a party, a big house party, and you put your keys in a jar so no one drinks and drive or whatever. I don't know what the
okay.
point. But they should have phone parties. You walk into a party, you throw your goddamn phone in a fish tank and just live and fuck and drink and dance and sing and queef.
Absolutely. Well, Quinn's wedding, they said no photos allowed.
I like that.
Like, we have a photographer. Let's not. I mean, Jerry was there and
Sure.
everybody else, but not everybody else. Jerry was the only real star. But still, they were like, no photo. Let's just be here.
Yeah.
Be here now. I guess Schumer was there and
Oh, yeah, there's some people.
Colin himself.
You know what's cool about Jerry is he did the Hollywood Bowl with Nate.
Yes. Same
So-
night as me at the Regent.
Oh, you were there?
Yep.
I didn't even know you were at the fest.
Yeah.
So Nate uses homeless pimp,
Ah, the pimp.
as you know.
Absolutely.
Pimps and hoes. And so he's like, yeah, come by and film some shit. And then Jerry was like sitting on a couch while they were, shucking and jiving in the green room. And Pimp walks in and he goes, who the fuck's this guy? He's got a flowery jeans
Right.
on and a headband and Elton John heart glasses. And he's like, I'm a video guy. And Jerry's like, video? No, thank you. Like, I just did Unfrosted. I got enough video. Fuck off. And he goes, well, I'm legit. I use Nate, and he's like, I don't care. And he goes, well, I just filmed Colin's special, and he goes, get in here.
Wow.
And that was the passport. He was in. He's like, you filmed Colin's special, you're all right in my book. You can film me fucking my daughter.
No kidding. All right. Well, I'm gonna next time I see him, I'm gonna say, hey Jerry, I sniffed Chris D's hand and
There you go.
I trash you quite a bit, but
I don't know
Colin.
if Chris D is going to be enough, but yeah, Colin, talk about how you massaged his feet and gave him a haircut.
absolutely best haircut he ever had. Well, that's like we listened to Seinfeld on Mar, which was great. The first 20 minutes, I didn't care for it. I jumped the gun. I was like, this is the worst podcast. This sucks. They're both assholes. And then the last hour, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever listened to.
Really?
But he talked about how Mars like, I want this podcast to be, if you and I were having a conversation in my living room, same conversation. And Jerry's like, that's not going to happen.
Of course.
He's like, I'm not going to get canceled here.
Yeah, right.
Which is fun because it lets you know that Jerry in private is letting the explicitives fly.
Oh, hey, who you talking to? He called me a little bitch within 10 minutes of having a breakfast burrito with him, and then he called me a retard.
Oh, wow. Retard's fun.
Yeah.
Well, Regan is
Regan.
similar. We don't want to give away
Yeah.
too much meat into the
Well,
salad.
it's the beauty. I mean, this guy's shooting a Pop-Tart movie made for special needs kids, but behind the closed door, he's fucking Andrew Dice Clay.
Right. They're fucking?
Unfortunately.
Isn't it scary that he's like 70? Everyone's so old.
He looks good, though, don't you think? He's
He'll be 100, but
he never really drinks. He works out every day. He does all these meditation bullshits. He's zenned out. He's stoic.
yeah, we got to do it. We got to get in shape and get healthy. I can't stop eating donuts and Chipotle.
I got to stop drinking, and I got to get some fucking sleep.
Sleep is big.
Sack time.
Well, we're doing the sleep training, and it's wonderful.
What's
now
that
we're early
mean?
sleeping. You got to train the baby to sleep. You put him in a room, you shut the door, and you don't open it for another 12 hours, and he cries and screams.
Wow.
But you go right to bed, and that's it.
That's like Al Qaeda. It's what do you call that? A solitary.
Well, it's horrible, but it's working out great, and now we're getting some real sleep and some real fucking.
Well, my friend told me that that the hardest part about the kid is the guilt. It's not the shitting and the whatever. It's the guilt. The kid goes, I want a bun. You go, you can't have it. And they go, I want it so bad. And you're like, you can't have it. And that's the hard part. So when he's yapping on the other end of that door, that's got to be tough.
It's very tough. That's hard. And people bring up the shit. The shit is quite pleasant, honestly. It's like sweet. You bond. You're looking at each other. He's very sweet. You wipe the butt. You feel like that's not anything.
What about the ball bag? Anything there?
It's very small.
Okay, that helps.
You take the poo off. He's discovered it. He squeezes it and he's like this.
Oh, good for him. I would do the same.
Yeah, I do the same.
There you do.
Do.
Hey.
Whoa, doo-doo.
I was a real dick flinger back in my day. Like I would really
flick the ding, flick the dick.
I
Don't
would
you
whip it
love sex?
Oh, it's a good. I did it last night.
Me too. I put it on last night and I slept in it. Well, we're on this every other day thing. Every other day. And it's quite convenient. Because
Really?
you're like, hey, it's every other day.
I mean, convenient for you. I feel bad for this broad you got here, but
She turns her back to me. It's fine.
okay, great.
I bust out my yearbook. She picks a new guy every night to look at.
Perfect. Black and white.
It's a high school yearbook, so she's kind of a creep.
Oh, pedo.
Yeah, we have a nice time, and it's nice to just orgasm right inside of a cooch.
I'm a shooter. I like the Sandy Hook and Columbine all over, but I keep it in every now and then.
Yeah, you got to keep it in, and you get yourself a child, and that's exciting.
Sometimes they can feel the shoot, and they're like, "Ooh, that was interesting."
I think they love the shoot. Well, whenever I get one in the ass, I always think, whoa, that felt like it went right to my nipples.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. The whole design was to shoot it in there and have her suck that shit up and egg it.
I don't really know what goes on in there. Both the ass and the pussy. Eventually it hits a wall, right?
Yeah, but I think the wall and the vag ass is a whole other ball game. But the walls of the vagi, I think, are like meant to absorb. Yeah,
Because the swimmies not necessarily. The swimmies are in the jizz.
Yeah, 500 million of them or something like that.
No kidding.
It's like the border. It's wide open.
I got to tell you, I think this is one of the all-time episodes.
A humding.
This is the episode of the year. 555, lucky 555.
Write it down.
That's an episode right there.
Put that in your pipe and jizz all over your wife's clam.
Chuck, do me a favor. When this episode comes out on May 20th, May 19th, my niece's birthday, text me and say, hey, your favorite episode's coming out tomorrow. Because I'm going to really... You know what I mean?
Milk
By
it.
then, this company's going to be working for us, and we're going to be, the numbers are going to be through the roof.
I'll believe it when I see it. The roof's on fire. We'll see. Roofy.
I mean, this is going to be the biggest pod of all time. We're going straight to the top. I mean, these guys, you weren't in the meeting. You should have been. Chuck and I were in there. These were men with jobs,
Really?
Jerry. I'm telling you, what?
All right.
These were they had jobs and they were sitting like this, you know, they were really in there.
Oh, wow.
They were like, if you fucking get us, it was like Hulk Hogan shooting a promo.
Well, just the idea that anyone would take this seriously with numbers and graphs and chart, it's beyond me. Bed Bath & Beyond me.
I'm telling you, we're going straight up, baby.
I don't know what's taking so long. We're delivering the
we
goods
had to-
every goddamn week.
We had to sign the contract.
I see.
Now that we're signed, forget about it.
There's your sign.
Hey, Lou, get her
Get her done, folks.
Absolutely.
Yeehaw. All right. Well, where are you going to be at there, Chachi?
I don't even know. Let me take a peek here. May
All right.
20th.
I'm at the Schubert Theater. I'm at New Haven. I'm at Seattle, the Moore Theater. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm in Colorado Springs, which I've never been, and I hear is a really
great.
cute town. I'm in Sioux Falls, I believe. I'm going to South Dakota. Never been to the Dakotas. Dakota Fanning. What else? Carolinas, I believe. I'm Florida, Palm West, Key
West
West,
Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. Thank you.
That's big.
And Orlando. Doing a lot of Fort Myers. So yeah, marknormancomedy.com, punchuplive.com/our names, and get on the Patreon. What do you got there, Chach?
Salt Lake City, one of our favorite clubs, Wise Guys.
Great
June
club.
7 and 8. Luke Monis. We're back. That's when we first worked together. I mean, we did the London thing. Mohegan Sun, one of the best rooms of all time.
Yikes.
Mohegan
Bring Uncle
Sun,
Dale. Maybe he'll win something.
June 13, Uncle Dale will be there. June 13, 14, 15, Key West, my favorite place on fucking earth. The movie's done, by the way. We're just putting the finishing touches. This Tom Dustin film. It's coming, and it's coming in your ass.
Bring it on.
And you're in there.
Wow, I made it.
Key West, I'll be down there June 20, 21, 22. Portland, Maine, early show sold out. We added a second show. That's Monday, July 1st.
Hachi-machi.
Get those late show tickets. Atlanta, July 18, 19, 20. That's the Punchline. The Crocodile in Seattle, July 25th.
Nice.
And then August, Milwaukee Improv, Magoobies, and Side Splitters, my fucking other favorite club.
Great
And
room.
September, I'm crazy. It's crazy. I got Oklahoma City, Portland,
wow.
Helium, Indianapolis, and Skankfest, of course. So
Wow, you're going to miss those first steps there, Fatty.
it's going to be a lot. And, God, that's scary. Don't say that. Helium, Philly, October 3rd through the 5th. And Madison in October. Chucky, baby.
Ew.
Tell them about the
You
pod.
got Chuck
Oh, yeah.
Jones.
Check out my podcast, Fun Bearable. Good stuff coming up. We just released an episode where Ray came back from Ireland and he did some shows in Ireland.
The Emerald Isle.
The host took out a gun on stage.
Hey.
And it's part of his act.
What is it,
He
Dave
does a
Chappelle?
bunch of jokes with a real
Ronnie
gun.
K, the prop comic.
I was like, what the fuck? I never heard of that before, but
I can't do the voices.
It's a crazy story. And then we're going to be doing a live episode. Our 100th episode is going to be live at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode
Soder?
Island. We didn't. No, Soder he had family that day. He was like, this day, whatever. It's okay. Sorry, I appreciate it though.
Whatever.
So Sunday, July 21st, we're doing the 100th episode of Fun Bearable live at the Comedy Connection, East Providence, Rhode Island.
All right. You heard it, guys. 100
FunBearablePod.com.
episodes. You're 455 behind us. Congrats on 555 hours. How many days is that? Let me do a quick math check here.
What do you mean, how many days? Oh, how many days?
Yeah, days.
I'm going to guess
555 divided by 24.
6 months.
That is now 23 days.
Yikes. That was way off. Not even 1 month.
20. But think about it. If we started, we were like, we're going to podcast for 23 straight days. I mean, that's crazy. 23
break.
days of podcasting.
Throw some bonus in there, too, by the way. Those hours count as well.
I might have done the math wrong. Let me just double check.
We're double checking the
Divided by
numbers.
24. Yep, 23 days. All right.
I'm ovulating. Thank you, folks. We'll see you in hell. We've got praise all
What
our
you
God.
be